For members, the 2 billion you're talking about is an arrears. Is an arrears which has not been budgeted for. You did not. Members, handle your issue politically. Honorable members, political. I know it is campaign time, you need money. Handle it politically. Honorable members. Yes, honorable. Let me hear from Lope.
Honorable Speaker, in all honesty, for starters, I think we need to clean certain things. We are all here. I mean, when you look at some of the issues being raised, we want certain roads to be worked on. We don't want to be fighting. But you see, even when we want some of these roads to be fixed and so on, let's tick all the boxes procedurally so that we don't regarding the law. You see, the order paper, item number 3, is talking about laying of these requests, and the Minister of Finance laid them. Item number 4, the committee chairperson to table a report. And then the House has got to constitute itself into a committee of supply. We need to clean up some of these things so that we look neat, even legally. Away from that, right, Honorable Speaker, and as yes, the order paper is talking about laying and so on, the committee already sat, the reports are ready. I mean, some of these things, when the public that follows
Honorable Lope,
our live broadcast,
we agreed. First of all, you should also accept that we do consultation. I told you. We consult. I told my Lope that we received these loans because it is urgent. I did administrative referral, and he said, well, it may not be very smart, but since we consult, you get it as an institution.
Right, Robo, and I want to thank you for that consultative element. It happened this morning when the committee report was already ready, all the processes had happened. Maybe if I at least had been notified is when the administrative decision was being taken. But now we are here. Now we are dealing with these matters. And here are some of the quick concerns that I do have, Right Honorable Speaker. We want to purchase new aircraft for Uganda Airlines for 22 billion shillings. You see, when you read Regulation 18 of the Public Finance Management Act of 2016, those regulations are very instructive. These supplementary items have got to be unavoidable, they have got to be unforeseeable. How is it that we did not foresee some of these things that we are talking about? That some emergency has happened? I would have expected this for some of the emergencies. Colleagues are always here telling us about how floods have hit their areas, you know, bridges have collapsed and so on. Ministry of Finance is supposed to come here very quickly and say, hey, this was unforeseeable. It has happened. We need to deal with it. But some of these things, you're supposed to plan. We were here for the budget process, planning together. Why did you not bring these issues? That you're bringing them here now. We are scrambling. You know, the Speaker has to call members, constituencies and so on to come and deal with an emergency. This is a bad planning issue. Honorable Speaker, we are talking about 300 billion shillings for countrywide youth mobilization tours. I saw somebody defending it and saying this has been part of ongoing. If it was part of ongoing plans, why did you not encapsulate it in the budget? Why? Now you hear what he's saying. Anyway, good enough is even off record. You would all be disturbed by the response. Let's plan for all of these things. Because now when we come here, we go through over what we quarrel over, we refuse this and maybe allow some things, and then a short while later you're coming and saying, hey, this was unforeseeable. No, I don't believe so. I don't agree. There's another disturbing issue. 37 billion shillings for a power stabilizer at Namave to enable Roofings Group extend steel manufacturing. national project, Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues. This is a direct subsidy to a private wealthy individual. I have specifically raised many complaints here, severally. These subsidies, the monies that we extend to Atiak, Sugar Factory, to Rocco, Inspire Africa, and so on and so forth, you have never come out clean here for people to know this is how I access a shot in the arm from government. Because you have ordinary people downtown with their small shops and so on, they also have loans. Their businesses are also crumbling. And they're saying, aid me. Why is government aiding only a few wealthy ones? What's the process? So that somebody knows, this is how I apply. But you will come here for roofings, you'll come for Rocco, you'll come for Atiak, Day by your farmer, Inspire Africa Coffee. How do these things make sense to your ordinary voters who are also doing business and struggling?
Love, actually, what you're saying is correct, because even when we empower, the empowerment, most of the empowerment is within the Kampala youth, your voters. So you find the Bukeda people are complaining. So you're one of the beneficiaries of this empowerment. You see, this kind of thing.
Honourable Speaker, I'm not a beneficiary. That's why I'm complaining. And by the way, I'm not saying governments world over do this. Governments world over, they subsidize private entities and so on. But there is a clear modus operandi on how. But now you leave people to suspect that company there. Maybe somebody in government has got shares. So they begin to speculate how for them they're able to access all of this help. That does not make sense. Honourable Speaker, 79 billion shillings, part of this is for handheld hose to 7 million households. In 25, we still want to purchase handheld hose for people, and yet we are talking about modernizing agriculture. But we want to purchase 7 million hose.
Honorable,
this is my considered view, me as Joel Senyonyi.
Honorable Joel,
I am saying it is problematic.
Honorable Joel,
we should be advancing.
Honorable, just there are areas that cannot use the other kind of tractors. If you look at a place like Honorable Musasi's place, if you look at a place like Sebei, Honorable Inikwen, need the big tractors. You need those handheld hose.
That's okay, tractors. Right, Honorable Speaker. I am only saying we have been talking about modernizing agriculture. That's the direction we should be taking.
That is part of modernization.
This is my Honorable Speaker. I should be allowed space to air my view, which is contrary to some people. Yeah, so as far as I am concerned, saying we are spending 79 billion shillings to purchase 7 million hose, especially during this electoral season, there's so many questions. Honorable Speaker, 20 billion shillings is required by Uganda Airlines to settle debts for aircraft engine maintenance. So, not the planes, but we forgot the budget for servicing them. That's what this means. That's why you're coming here with a supplementary. The new aircraft we want to purchase is from the manufacturer Boeing. We have Airbuses. So now you want to have a bit of the other. Why don't you take advantage of economies of scale? You're scrambling jets with spare parts. All of these things are not taken care of, Honourable Speaker. The Ministry of Tourism wants 6 billion shillings, partly to commemorate Martyrs' Day across Anglican, Catholic and Muslim faith. Every year we do this. Why did you not plan for this, government? For me, that's what I find quixotic. That you bring this through a supplementary. Every year we are always here talking about Uganda Martyrs' Day, how it is a big tourism potential event, but you don't plan for it. Speaker, protect me from this man from Kasambia. So I'm saying that this is poor planning, honestly. Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, the Electoral Commission needs 469 billion shillings to create 15,006 new polling stations. 1.5 months to the election. How can this be okay? We have had 5 years to plan for an election. So 1.5 months to an election is when you're saying, oh, we need to create 15,000 new polling stations, give us money. But how?
Honorable Joel.
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker.
Do they just need to create or they have created?
Honorable Speaker, and that's the entire plan.
That is a concern to all of us. This one is not partisan. Do they just need to create or they have created?
Honorable Speaker, and that's the plan element I am talking about. So at whichever time you have created them, it is now that you're saying we need money, as if you did not plan for it. But why? Why do you not plan properly? 1.5 months to an election. That's my big concern. The biometric voter verification kits, part of which this money is going to take care of. Again, as I did mention earlier on, there are so many unanswered questions here. You're coming here to Parliament and saying, give us money. Members of Parliament are asking questions about, in the past, they have been used and they never functioned. Network issues, usability, and so on and so forth. But you are saying, give us money. A month and a half to elections. When is training going to happen? For all stakeholders, by the way, including us in this house. I need to machine works because I'm a stakeholder. It's not just for the Electoral Commission officials. So that when I am sending my agents out, I have equipped them. This is what you need to look out for. This is how this thing works. This is when you know there is a problem. 1.5 months to the election. All of that is in area. Honorable Speaker, we need government to come clean on this biometric voter verification kits. For all of us, by the way, as I did mention, I had colleagues in the NRM, some of them complaining that they were being rigged in their primaries and so on and so forth. This is a concern for all of we in the opposition. You also want to be sure that this process is fair, it is understandable, regardless where you do belong. So we need cleanness from the state regarding this.
These people are distracting me.
Finally, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable, what Honorable Senyor is saying, Attorney General, is a very important thing. Maybe we need to have a training for members of Parliament, since we are representatives of the people, all stakeholders. Can we organize for Electoral Commission to have an interaction with us so that we get to understand what the machines do, how to be used, so that we go out there to tell the people that this is what you expect at the end of the day. So can we have that interaction with the EC as members of Parliament?
Honorable Speaker, a colleague wants to share information.
Madam Speaker, yesterday we were shocked. Even the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Museveni, did not know how these things are going to work. He was also asking in the committee, and I asked him, but you are the one presenting the request. How can you not even know how the Electoral Commission, being truthful, other members can confirm?
We are saying we all don't know. Don't specify on Museveni. Everybody doesn't know. Let's have the training, and the Honorable Lopez brought a very important issue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And you see, that's why it's always important to open. So you come here for money for these machines. You have little, if any, information about them, the one asking for the money. All stakeholders are not brought on board. Who are we purchasing them from? How are they meant to function, and so on and so forth. We have had concerns about network users and so on. And then we hear these machines could be used mandatorily. Because you see, government also needs to come out very clearly on that matter. Are they saying these kits are going to be used mandatorily? We need a yes or no, so that we know.
Election will come out clear, not government, because the leadership in government are all candidates. So let Electoral Commission come out.
Honorable Speaker, Here in Parliament, the Electoral Commission is represented by the Ministry of Justice, the Attorney General. The EC chairperson does not sit here. That's why we're putting these issues to government. Yeah, so it's important that we get to know, are they going to be used mandatorily? If so, what happens where network fails? What happens where some of the officials, as we saw in the last election, the polling official does not know how to use the thing? Because we have a month to the elections, they have not been purchased yet. My final concern, right, Honorable Speaker.
But also, before you come to the final concern, those are some of the issues that when we are having an interaction with the EC, that we to ask the EC, and we should be able to get responses to that effect.
Thank you, and I really hope that those...
I would want to provide information to the Leader of Opposition that in this supplementary, we have also provided money to NERA, and NERA has a robust plan to roll out card distribution, the national ID distribution. And that is very important to the electoral process, because the system that you're talking about, you're referring to, will require every voter to use the national ID. And therefore, they must work in symphony. And so the Electoral Commission and to NERA are very important.
As everybody got the IDs.
So that is what is happening, Right Honourable.
Right Honourable, now a spanner has been thrown in the works. And as I have been saying, about to sound like a broken month and a half to the elections, we are now scampering around to do all of these different things. I don't see what magic we are going to do. I don't.
So can we conclude? Yes.
Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, look, this supplementary has got certain things that really, even me, I would be, roads have got to be built. Some of our roads are in pathetic shape. Of course, normally I say, once we have passed the money, let's follow to be sure it is not stolen, as we normally see. That good roads are built, not getting potholes after 3 months and that kind of thing, yeah? So while there are some of those elements, of course I do have some other concerns like Uganda Air, different things. Now, I don't want to be standing in the way of some of, in my view, the good elements of this supplementary. But again, I'm also a stickler to rules. Rule 25 of our rules of procedure provides that for us to take a vote on any matter, we have got to add of all the voting members present to vote. Of the 529, that should be 177. I do not see those members, whether it be on the government side or even the side that I lead, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to confess that even my side, colleagues are not present. They're out there campaigning. So I don't know that we have that number. I hear people saying some members are online. I hope the online people are going to vote and we shall know. Honorable so-and-so is online. Honorable so-and-so is online. They have voted this way. That helps also so that we don't get challenged. Sometimes Parliament has been dragged to court over procedural issues, especially because some of these things are contentious. It's got to do with procurements, huge procurements, our electoral process. Let's cross every T and dot every I.
AG.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I just want to state to the House that I am going to communicate to the Electoral Commission and require them to come and have an interaction with the members of Parliament on how the BVVK will work and their readiness in that respect as stakeholders. I'll ensure that this communication reaches them before the end of tomorrow. Secondly, I just needed to clarify that it is not for lack of planning. No, let me finish.
No, on the first point.
Clarification is for me, I'm not giving.
It's for
so supplementary expenditure, supplementary expenditure, LOP, is that struggle we understand the frustrations that you may have in the way some of these things show up. But at some points we are unable to anticipate. For example, it is impossible for the Electoral Commission to print ballot papers until the nominations and all this. We cannot even provide a number because the cost of the ballot paper is determined by the number of voters on the ballot paper. A ballot paper of 2 will be different from a ballot paper of 14. So some number of candidates. So some of these things are difficult for us to. Of machines, we are not purchasing all of them at a go. Rather, we're not paying for all of them at a go. You are paying advance and then as you get along, and that's fine. So we understand the frustration, but we assure you we do our best to try and achieve that. I also want to clarify on the issue of the roofings. We are not, this supplementary is not giving any money. We are doing a public line to stabilize the power into that direction, into the Namabe area. So that stabilization of the energy is consumed by all the people who are using that. But we understand, but colleagues, we request you to support government on this supplementary budget. And yes, we agree with you that we should always come back and make sure that we are accountable, and we promise to do better. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. And what Honorable Senyonyi talks about the issue of the matters, this is something that we know we have to. Honorable Minister, make sure that you put that in the next budgets so that we don't continue asking for supplementaries.
Madam Speaker, I want to.
The good thing you're still going to be in the government in the next.
Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, first of all, there was an issue of irresponsible reporting, and I've said as a custodian, page 4, actually starting from page 2, almost the last paragraph, page 4, paragraph 3 and 4, and all the related reportings or allegations in compliance to Article 156(2) and Rule 160 should be expunged from this record. We will not allow this on the record. Honourable Member, yes, Honourable Medi.
Right Honourable, Honourable Attorney General, on the 22nd, to be sick, on the 30th day of October 2025, we wrote to the Electoral Commission, that is from the ecological part of Uganda, requested them to respond to the following questions. Right Honourable Speaker, I would like to thank you for your intervention on this matter. But this should not be restricted only to members of parliament, but if we can also involve political parties, because they're at that level, and other local leaders at that level, because these are the questions I posed, Right Honourable Speaker. One is the issue of data protection, because our data, other than having the machine supplier, an interface between the voters' roll, our data from NIRA, and the supplier who I hear allegedly is from China. Now that is important, that this individual or this company will now have my biometrics, will have facial recognition supplied to it from the National Data Center of Uganda, and knowing at the moment that one of the most important things is proliferation of data, that I'll sit here and someone who has my biometrics will be able to open up my that is smart from a remote area. Yes, because when they supply this data for verification, including my biometrics, I don't know how secure it is. Then secondly, the other question we posed was whether these biometric voting machines will be labeled according to the polling stations where they will be deployed. And I know the reason as to why I'm asking this question in particular. Just like, you know, when we get the parking list of and etc., there is pure annotation and, you know, there is pure marking of everything that this is for Uganda, this polling station, N to M, A to Z. And finally, Right Honorable Speaker, with the world of technology that we are having, there is a possibility of hacking and cyber penetration by third parties. How secure are we that you might have a machine and there is a bypass from another party? The security of our elections. Therefore, as Honorable Speaker, the Electoral Commission must come and demonstrate the dry run for us as to how it will handle, because a polling station might have between 300 and 500 people. How these people will be handled in a of 5 minutes or 3 minutes, because if it's 2 minutes per person, then in 1 hour you can handle about probably 30 persons. And if we have 10 voting hours, then what happens to those that are still in the queue? We want to try and test through a dry run that we stand in a line and they call by name, and we see how we put our biometric figures there, and how much the interface between that information coming out from NIRA and telling you now you can move into the queue to vote. You might find that some people might be disenfranchised, or we might have to go to 2 days of continuous voting.
Thank you. Honorable members, this Honorable Lope had raised, when should we have that as members of parliament?
I think, Right Honorable Speaker, please allow the Electoral Commission to come, interface with you, and you, because I have assured you that I am going to have Electoral Commission. Otherwise, we're going to repeat, and I'm not going to provide any answers.
I'm asking members, when are you available?
Thursday. Before the weekend. I asked him today. Huh? I said, are you hosting us for when we do? He said, yes.
Honorable members, I have been informed that Electoral Commission, most of the members have gone for the printing of ballot papers. Is Friday okay with you people? Is Friday okay?
No problem. Friday.
Honorable members,
Friday.
Friday is sports. Love, get a microphone. But we have sports. We have sports. Honorable members, to discuss with the Electoral Commission, and we'll send you a message that the Electoral Commission will be available on such and such a day, and you endeavor to come. If you don't come, that will be your problem. And as I've told you, some of us are waiting for swearing in. Honorable members, I now put a question that this House resolves itself into a committee of supply to consider the supplementary expenditure schedule number 1 for financial year 2025-2026. Those in control and nay. The ayes have it.
The Committee of Supply. Recurrent expenditure under supplementary expenditure schedule number 1 for the financial year 2025-2026.
I put a total sum of Uganda shillings 1,116,477,119,718 shillings be approved as a total recurrent expenditure under the supplementary expenditure schedule number 1 for the financial year 2025-2026. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Total development expenditure under supplementary expenditure schedule number 1 for the financial year 2025-2026.
I put a question that the total sum of Uganda shillings 534,185,335,000 Uganda shillings 34,185,325,469 shillings be approved as a total development expenditure under the supplementary expenditure schedule number 1 for the financial year 2025-2026. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Statutory expenditure under supplementary expenditure schedule number 1 for the financial year 2025-2026.
I put a total sum of Uganda shillings 8,344 shillings be approved as a total statutory expenditure under supplementary expenditure schedule number 1 for financial year 2025-2026. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Grand total expenditure under supplementary expenditure schedule number 1 for the financial year 2025.
I put a question that the total sum of Uganda shillings 1,652,285,453,531 shillings be approved as a total expenditure under supplementary schedule number 1 for financial year 2025-2026. Those in favor say aye to the contrary. The ayes have it.
Motion for the House to resume.
Minister.
Right Honorable Chair, I beg to move a motion that the House resumes and the Committee of Supply.
I put a question that the House resumes and the Committee of the Supply reports thereto. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Somebody wants to sleep here. He's fearing voters. I understand what Honorable Semuju is going, what is going through. Voters are hot.
Report of the Committee of Supply.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of Supply has considered the supplementary schedule number 1 being to 1,252,285,453,531 and passed it without amendments.
Thank you.
Motion for a report of the Committee of Supply.
Honorable Minister. Adoption.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move a motion that the report from the Committee of Supply be adopted.
I put a question that the report for the Committee of Supply be adopted by this House. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Item 5, motion for the House to resolve itself into a Committee of Supply, Supplementary Expenditure Schedule number 2 for the financial year 2025-2026.
I put a question that the House resolves itself into a Committee of Supply to consider the supplementary expenditure number 2 for financial year 2025-2026. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. Ayes have it.
The Committee of Supply.
This one is just one item, but the rest we must capture vote by vote.
Total development expenditure under supplementary expenditure schedule number 2 for the financial year 2025-2026.
I put a question that a total sum of Uganda shillings 1,696,4,729,281 shillings be approved as a total development expenditure under the supplementary schedule number 2 for financial year 2025-2026. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Grand total supplementary expenditure under supplementary expenditure schedule number 2 for the financial year 2026.
I put a question that a total sum of Uganda shillings 1,696,4,729,281 shillings be approved under the supplementary expenditure schedule number 2 for the financial year 2025-2026. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for the House to resume.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I beg to move a motion that the House resumes and the Committee of Supply reports thereto.
Honorable members, I put a question that the House resumes and the Committee of Supply reports thereto. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Why did you check? How did you check?
Report of the Committee of Supply.
Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of Supply has considered the supplementary schedule number 2 totaling to 1,096,4,729,281 shillings and passed it without amendments.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of Supply.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move a motion that the report from the Committee of Supply be adopted.
Honourable members, I put a question that the report of the Committee of Supply be adopted by this House. Those in favour say aye. The ayes have it.
Item 6 on the order paper. Motion for the House to resolve itself into a Committee of Supply to consider the supplementary expenditure schedule number 3 for the financial year 2025-2026.
I put a question that the House resolves itself in supply to consider the supplementary expenditure schedule number 3 for financial year 2025-2026. Those in favour say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Then we sit. Let's go ahead.
Total recurrent expenditure schedule number 3 for the financial year 2025-2026.
Honorable Chair, on
I
that
put
matter,
a question that a total sum of you.
on that matter, there is a strike, a pending strike by doctors, which we could fix. Which we could fix on this supplementary.
We are in supply. We have finished 5 years in this House, and we don't know that when it is supply, it is not for debate. A debate ended. We are in supply.
When there is a pending strike,
please.
I thought would be, okay.
With a strike, and as government, we are aware and we must handle it. You're dealing with the government. We are going to handle. I put a question that a total sum of Uganda shillings 1,200,855,095,118 shillings be adopted as total recurrent expenditure and a supplementary expenditure schedule for number 3, financial year 2025-2026. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Total development expenditure and a supplementary expenditure schedule number 3 for the financial year 2025-2026.
I put a question that a total sum of Uganda shillings 1,554,370,552 shillings be approved as a total development expenditure and a supplementary expenditure schedule number 3 for financial year 2025-2026. Be approved. Those in favor say to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Total statutory expenditure and a supplementary expenditure schedule number 3 for the financial year 2025-2026.
I put a question that a total sum of Uganda shillings 1,986,880,000,000 be approved as a total statutory expenditure and a supplementary expenditure number 3 for the financial year 2025-2026. Those in favor say on the contrary. The ayes have it.
Grand total supplementary expenditure and a supplementary expenditure schedule number 3 for the financial year 2025 2026.
I put a question that a total sum of Uganda shillings 4,756,105,111,170 shillings be approved as a total expenditure under the supplementary expenditure for the financial year 2025-2026. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for the House to resume.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Chair, I beg to move a motion that the House resumes and a committee of the whole House reports thereto.
Committee of Supply
reports thereto.
I put a question that the House resumes and the Committee of Supply reports their favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of Supply.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, to report that the Committee of Supply has considered the supplementary schedule number 3 totaling to Uganda shillings 4,756,111,170 shillings and passed it without amendments.
Thank you.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of Supply.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the report from the Committee of Supply be adopted.
I put a question that the report of the Committee of Supply be adopted by this House. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, Honorable Minister, Chair Budget and the members, I want to thank you so much for handling the supplementary. Honorable Minister, I know you've considered a number of roads, thank you, but I have one very crucial road that 1 or 2, actually 3, the Lira Aloy Otuke Abim Kotido Road should be considered. We have Apala Otuke, we have Buheshu Road, Buheshu, we have Kachonga, Butaleja, Busole, Butaleja, Tororo. Now that tells you that I've gone through this country. Now those roads, Dokolo Namasale, Otuhe, Honorable Minister, we need to look at those roads. Then there was a road, part of the road that we are working on in Isingiro. Yes. Isingiro towards the Tanzania. Yes. And then we have the BKK ferry. January, we are opening it in January. Okay. BKK 1 and BKK 1 and BKK 2. Agaba?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to congratulate you upon passing through unopposed. Thank you for giving me this time, Right Honorable. I want to thank the chairman. The roads he read, but he has forgotten to read our road under oil roads. I have 9 sub-counties, all 7 sub-counties. I have a pipeline, Right Honorable Speaker. When they were working on those, did not consider our constituency, Buganga is east. So the road from Nare, Yochisi, Tampasana, Nkoko, going to Chiboga and going to Mubende was never considered. Right Honorable Speaker, and that road was put in this supplementary. But I think under budget, Minister of Works knows about that road because he was recently there.
That road is under NDP4.
Yes.
It is under NDP4. It will come in the budget.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. The House adjourned. Sunday.
Okay.